been waiting for since the 14th of July. Chandrayaan-3 took off from Sriharikota in Andhra Pradesh, and the entire country restlessly waited for the 23rd of August to come. And today, India scripted history. India became the first country in the world to land at the crucial south pole of the moon. It is also the fourth to reach the moon. Now, the Vikram Lander, named after the father of Indian Space Research Organization, Vikram Sarabhai, successfully made a soft landing on the south pole of the moon at exactly 6:04 p.m. this evening. Now, what began with bated breaths, anxious moments, and a never-ending wait for the landing ended in celebration, dance, jumping out of joy, and even happy tears. It was not just one big step for India in the space sector, but a victory for the entire humankind. No other country, and that includes the United States, Russia, and China, has managed to land their rover on the south pole of the moon. Now, the team which fronted this historic success was led by Indian Space Research Organization chairperson S. Somnath. Speaking exclusively with Times Network, the brilliant mind behind Chandrayaan-3 said that every Indian has a piece of moon with themselves now. Listen in.
What do you have to say, sir? The mission is successful. So,
yeah, we are very happy about this mission. It has been such a great mission, achieved the touchdown very, very safely. Beyond our expectations, I must say, but we were expecting this to happen today.
You must be very tense, especially at the last.
We were not tense at all because we have done the work, and because work is done very well, there will not be any possibility of any more failures or issues. That we were very confident about.
Yeah. So, how was the Prime Minister when address after the successful launch of the mission, sir?
He congratulated all of the ISRO family members, and he wanted to come and personally greet each one of us. And he also said that we are making India very, very proud.
Yeah, sir. This is one of the important missions. The entire world was looking at it. What do you like? An entire billions of Indians were with bated breath. Well, what do you have to say to Indians, sir? To the common Indians who were.
Now, India, now you have a piece of moon with you. It belongs to you as well. It is like very other powerful nations that put their foot on the moon. Now you can be proudly claim an Indian material is softly on the moon. You can have the rightful claim on it. Future generations can claim it.
A proud man there, of course, and every Indian thanking him today. But remember, a success is not about just one person. It is about each and every person who worked on the big Indian space dream. And for Mr. Somnath, he was shouldered by the simple and hugely inspiring scientists like Mr. Shrikant, who was the mission director at ISRO. He said the entire team was confident of Chandrayaan-3 being a success. Take a listen.
So how's the atmosphere in the team right now? How's the feeling?
Very ecstatic. There's no feeling, you can't say like that. It is like actually a bird or like a feather, it is coming and dropping down. It's unbelievable. When you feel that the entire work of these scientists who have worked for years together and correcting every aspect in this one, and then all coming in unison and in a synchronized manner and coming and landing, means it gives a very hot feeling that yes, we are able to do it.
So there was something that was described as 15 minutes of terror, sir. How were those last 15 minutes? We were all waiting here with bated breath as well, but for you, for the team monitoring it, how was it?
We are quite confident because we have done, people have done a lot of simulation tests, what can go wrong. For all those off-normal tests, everything was carried out. So we are quite confident that we can manage it. But still, thousands of things have to come in synchronized way, as the director URC told.
Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who was closely watching the landing process despite his busy schedule at the BRICS summit in South Africa, hailed the Indian Space Research Organization for their feat. The Prime Minister also had something to say about our good old Chanda Mama. Listen in.
अब आज के बाद से चांद से जुड़े मिथक बदल जाएंगे, कथानक भी बदल जाएंगे और नई पीढ़ी के लिए कहावतें भी बदल जाएगी। भारत में तो हम सभी लोग धरती को मां कहते हैं और चांद को मामा बुलाते हैं। कभी कहा जाता था चंदा मामा बहुत दूर के हैं, चंदा मामा बहुत दूर के हैं। अब एक दिन वो भी आएगा जब बच्चे कहा करेंगे चंदा मामा बस एक टूर के हैं।
As the prayers of 1.4 billion Indians were answered, it was a national celebration throughout. Take a look.
See, the celebration is refusing to title. This is one of the biggest ever day for the country. Finally, चांद की सतह पे फतह. Finally, the moon has been conquered. भारत माता की जय! भारत माता की जय! Everybody is celebrating. कितना बड़ा दिन है आज?
आज बहुत ही बड़ा दिन है आज हम लोगों के लिए।
क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
पूरे भारतवासियों के लिए ऐतिहासिक पल है ये।
क्या गाना चाहेंगे? इसरो हमें किस मोड़ पे ले आया, दिल कर हाय हाय कोई ये बताए क्या हो गया, इसरो हमें किस मोड़ पे ले आया,
हाय हाय
क्या होगा। कितना खुश महसूस कर रहे हैं?
पूरा एक दिवाली का दिन है पूरे इंडिया के लिए। भारत माता की जय।
This is not a normal day. They are saying this is a Diwali day for them, and you can see these brave hearts wearing uniform, 166 battalion of CRPF here, who is involved in counter-terror operation right now. They seem to be celebrating, and this is the scene. Everybody seems to be.
सोनियो वे नचांगे सारी रात, सोनियो वे कर लो थोड़ा सा प्यार, सोनियो वे कर लो थोड़ा सा प्यार।
Well, I wish all of us in the studio here also could get up and dance right now. But let me take this across to my guests tonight, who will share their perspective and, of course, share the celebration that every Indian heart is going through tonight. I am joined by Dr. Simeon Barber, Senior Research Fellow at the Open University. I'm also joined by Mr. Girish Lingana, Aerospace and Defense Analyst, with me. Welcome, gentlemen. Thank you so much for talking with Mirror Now. First to you, Girish Lignana ji, extremely proud day. Congratulations, not just as an Indian, but as a member of the scientific community. You know, that 15 minutes of terror that we all were talking about have been sailed smoothly today. Girish ji, I think you're muted. Could you please unmute yourself?
So I should say congratulations to all, not only the scientific fraternity, but all to the 1.4 billion people of India. As our Prime Minister told, and as the Chairman of ISRO told, every you can now say we are also on the moon, and every piece of moon belongs to every Indian. So that is one type of saying. It's a very happy. It all went well. So now what more I can say is we have achieved 99.9% and 0.1% is the rover coming down. That is the next challenge we have to face. We have already achieved 99.9%. Now it's only 0.1% that rover should come down. It will come down once the dust settles down there, because there will be a lot of dust because of the thrusters and because of the soft landing. Though it is a soft landing, but still there will be a lot of dust, and the dust has to settle down. Once the dust settles down, the door will open of the lander, and the door will be converted into a ramp, and the rover moves down. This is the procedure what is going to be the next of this landing. Can I continue this with this procedure? Next. Hello.
Yes, Girishji, go on. In fact, my next question was how much time will this take?
It will maximum, after landing, it may take 3 hours or 4 hours maximum for the dust to settle. Because when there is a dust, and if the rover comes down and the cameras get blurred with the dust. So they will wait for the dust to completely settle down. Then the rover will come out.
So anytime now, can we expect that to happen? Because 6/4 is when the landing happened. Anytime from now on, can we expect the rover, Pragyan rover, to roll out?
Yes, anytime after this, once they are very ascertain that there is no more dust, definitely Pragyan rover will come out.
Okay, okay. Of course, everybody here in India is keeping a close watch on that. Let me also go across to Dr. Simeon Barber. Dr. Barber, here we are in celebratory mode. It's almost like a national festival here. And not just celebrating, we've been hugely inspired by our scientists. And, as people who are not from the scientific community, we don't perhaps understand the nuances of why it is so crucial, but we know that it is extremely important for the study of the lunar surface. Help us understand why the south pole of the moon and this soft landing that India has made today is so crucial for space study.
Sure. Well, please let me start just by saying, huge congratulations on what India and ISRO has achieved today. It really is, something that goes down in history. It is a first to land near the south pole of the moon, which is not an easy thing to do. And I think it's huge credit that after the disappointment of Chandrayaan-2, you went again and you put in place all those lessons. And, I could see the confidence in the team as I was watching the live feed today. And, the scientific community is just so pleased for you that you've managed to make this achievement. And, I know the huge effort and work that goes into that. So well done. Why is it important? Well, what we've learned in the last 10 years or so is that the south polar region of the moon is very different to where all previous moon missions have landed near the equator. At the equator, you have a very hot day, and then you have a very cold night. But when you go down towards the South Pole, temperatures become colder, and this means that the surface of the moon is able to collect really interesting chemical species. So water ice is one thing we've talked about much near the South Pole. And what is happening is asteroids and comets are hitting the moon over billions of years, and these molecules are becoming trapped in the cold polar region. So if we can drive rovers and instruments into this polar region and take measurements, we're sampling material there that is, a billion years old. It's like going back in time. And that helps the scientific community understand what the Earth has experienced in the last billion years. It helps us piece together how our planet has evolved and even how maybe life has evolved on Earth. So these are really fundamental things that today's demonstration of being able to access the South Pole region of the moon brings. And, I just can't wait for the results that come out of this mission. And I really look forward to, Chandrayaan-4. And, I may be involved in that, and I'm really looking forward to that.
All right, absolutely. We're all looking forward to that. Girishji, coming to you, how do you see this journey that India has made? There was a time when, the father of Indian Space Research Organization, Vikram Sarabhai, was carrying the rocket, the spacecraft on a cycle. And today we have become the first country to reach the south pole of the moon. From the cycle to the south side of the pool, it's been a long journey, a tumultuous journey of perseverance, of hard work, of dedication, of a never give up attitude.
Yes, it was a never give up attitude that has made us to get this success. We didn't lose our efforts because Chandrayaan-1 could not take for 2 years. We were lost in 8 months itself. We continued Chandrayaan-2. At the end of 2 kilometers, we lost Chandrayaan-2, but still our efforts did not come down. We still continued, we pursued, and we saw that we reached the destination. So this is a good lesson for all the children and all the people also, that we should not stop our perseverance. We should pursue until we achieve our goal. This is a classic example. And if you see the way the ISRO has been built from 1960s to 1975, we did the first Aryabhatta. 1983, we did the INSAT, where the Doordarshan, everything started beginning. Then 2017, we launched 140 satellites and created a world record by placing all the satellites equidistantly without damaging each other. That was a world record. And now, of course, some other country has done it. And 2008 Chandrayaan, 2019 Chandrayaan-2, then Mangalyaan in 2014. These are all the milestones which we have crossed, and this is because of the hard work and the dedicated focus by the ISRO team and the leadership, whoever headed the ISRO from those days. We should all remember those people who have brought this great success to us.
Absolutely. Girishji, also, the fact that we worked on such a frugal budget all these years when it comes to our scientific research and innovation and our projects. For instance, we also take the credit of the Mangalyaan Mars mission, which was apparently the total cost of it was lesser than a Hollywood movie, and we were still able to reach Mars. So that clearly reflects the fact that at minimum, expenditure, we are bringing out maximum results.
Yes, that is also true. With minimum budget, we have got a very maximum results. Because people at that time really did not know. They thought that space is something to do with research. But now people are gradually understanding without space, nothing can move in future. You take anything without space, what you can do. Today we are doing Swiggy, Zomato, Ola, Uber, bank, UPI, digital, everything we are going on space. So space has become the most important factor in future of our life. And the space economy also counts a lot. It will become a different vertical to add to your GDP. Now we are only 2% in the space market. We should reach somewhere around 9 to 10%. And that will also increase our startups. That will give a lot of scope for the youngsters. That will give a lot of employment. So space itself will become a huge business in future now. This has given us a tremendous morality of India declaring as a technologically developed country. Though we are a developing country in economy, but in technology we are the most developed country. Out of 180 or 182 countries, say we are the only fourth country to go on the moon. And we are first to launch on the south pole of the moon. Is it not a great thing?
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. And, Dr. Barber, I'm going to take, in fact, that liberty of having those bragging rights tonight, at least, that India has, in fact, become the first country to reach the south pole of the moon, which no other country in the world has so far. So that, at least, I'm going to take liberty of. I'm going to brag, and we all are going to brag about it for a very long time. But Dr. Barber, last question to you. How do you see this really moving forward and panning out, not just in terms of India's journey in space exploration, but how countries individually and together have gone into the space, and those results have benefited humanity in several ways?
Yeah, I was really struck by Mr. Modi's comments about this being not just for India, but for all of humanity. And I think that it's really important. And what history has told us is that we can achieve great things in space when we work together. And, we know that the mission today was an Indian mission, but was supported by ground stations from elsewhere around the world. And we know that in future, there will be future collaborations. So, no one owns the moon. It's there for us to learn from and to explore. And we really do that best together. No one country can afford to go and explore space on its own, do it properly. And you've now developed an amazing technology for landing in this area near the south pole of the moon. And I would really love to see, the next mission go and do that and go and capitalize on it, make really detailed scientific measurements. And I'm sure that's been planned. And then colleagues I have in the laboratory here in the Open University of Milton Keynes in the UK, we'd like you to bring samples back from the moon, because we can do even more better science if we can have new samples back from the South Polar region. So I think India now has a they have a seat at the top table. You can help move forward lunar science, and the moon is key to understanding the history of the Earth. So, there's real benefit to the technology you developed. I hope that you continue to apply that to the moon. By all means, go and look at Venus, go and explore Mars, do great things there as well. But let's also capitalize on what you've achieved today by following up the science, because you're in an amazing position there at the moment with the ability to access the lunar surface, how you've done today.
Absolutely. I'm going to wrap it up here. And of course, we know that all eyes now are on the Gaganyaan mission as well, the manned mission that India has been planning. But for now, I'll wrap it up. Dr. Simeon Barber and Girish Lignanaji, thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us on Mirror Now and sharing your perspective and sharing our happiness tonight. Thank you so much.